So this is my first Oxvlog video. My name's Ellie, I do law, I'm at Teddy Hall and I'm now a second year, which is the weirdest thing to say. I feel so old. I've started talking about the freshers as a group of people that I'm no longer a part of, and it's triggering like a mid-degree crisis. In general, I would say I'm quite a nostalgic person. I'm always talking about this time yesterday, this time last week, this time last term, and this time last year is a big one. As I watch all the first years stumble about front quad, arrive at the library for the early morning work sessions, slightly oblivious to all the glares of the finalists, and I hear those same repetitive conversations that you repeat as like a script in Freshers Week. Oh, so where are you from? What do you study? Oh, are you enjoying Freshers? It feels so strange to think that it was a whole year ago that I was a part of that. I'm just such a different person now to the one I was when I arrived. I was definitely someone who enjoyed their life at home so much that they were really anxious about starting a new one somewhere else entirely. I'd been at the same school for so many years that the idea of making new friends without the support of people I already knew was so foreign to me. I was so scared that I was just going to be alone the whole time, just get through the degree, learning and just having a really horrible time apart from that. But the first person I spoke to, I've now discovered, because she became one of my closest friends, shared exactly the same feelings, and I think that's really important to realise that everyone is literally thinking the exact same thing. Everyone thinks that they're the one person that isn't going to gel with everyone else, and it's such a relief when you realise that there are other people thinking the same thing. Also at home, I was part of a really close group of friends, some of whom I'd known for about 12 years, and I just thought that nothing that I could form at uni would ever be able to compete with that. Although it's only been a year, I would consider so many of the people that I've met at Oxford among my absolute best friends. And of course, the people that I was close to at home are still really important to me. In a similar vein, I was always really caught up in all the stereotypes about Oxford, and I honestly believed that I would have absolutely no fun here. I wouldn't have time, and everyone would be so focused on work that it wouldn't even be a thing that people considered. In the past year, I've got involved in so many amazing things that I didn't even know existed before I started at Oxford. Firstly, crew dates, which are actually really hard to describe. It's sort of like big, blind friendship dates between different sports clubs or societies, where you take your own wine and consume it while doing something called sconcing, which is basically like never have I ever. Also punting, which is the sort of like gondola style activity that you can do along the river in the summer, which is just so beautiful, really hard to manage and surprisingly easy to get lost considering a river is pretty much just one straight line. Also bops. People have been talking about bops a lot in the first week of videos. I still love bobs, and the bop we had on Saturday at my college, Teddy Hall, had the theme Things That Used to Be Cool. So this is me and my friends dressed up as the Spice Girls, which was amazing when Wannabe came on and we were slightly inebriated and got very into it. One thing that seems so weird to me when I look back is that I was never one of those people who always knew that they were going to come to Oxford. I was encouraged to go and knew that I wouldn't get in, and by some fluke did, and thought that it was just that, a literal fluke. I thought that at some point people were going to realise that I wasn't meant to be here and kick me out. And that made the first half a term quite difficult for me in some ways. I was making new friends and having a great time, but under all that I refused to change my Facebook education thing to say that I was at Oxford now. I was counting off the days on a calendar until I could go home. I really didn't like being here, to the point where I wanted my parents to come visit, but my mum flat out refused because she knew that I'd just sort of sneak into the back of the car like a little fugitive and never leave. And it seems like another person that did all those things. And now I really do feel like I belong here, and I'm so excited for everything that the next year is going to bring.